Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome to my channel. This video is dedicated to Nicholas of Bari, aka Kris Kringle, aka Father Time, aka Santa Claus. In this Jungle Beauty Goddess Tarot Pick a Card reading, Santa Claus is going to tell you what he wants for Christmas. Throughout this reading or this shuffling of the deck, these are all pictures of the real Santa Claus from the free domain. Yes, these are real pictures of Santa Claus. I am also going to give you 10 facts about Santa Claus's real life that are going to shock you while giving the readings. So we're going to go ahead. I'd like for you to take a moment to concentrate. Take a deep breath. Hold it to the count of 3. Blow it out to the count of 3. I call on forces higher than I to unleash the wisdom I hold inside. Let this message be compassionate and true to show someone what they must do. Tap into the infinite wisdom of your own inner guide. Ask it to reveal to you what is hidden deep inside. Take what you need and ignore what doesn't apply by selecting the color of the right butterfly. Listen to the whispers of your own inner voice and let it help you make the true butterfly choice with the lessons and insights that will help you grow and lead you in the direction that you choose to go. Let's see what the Jungle Beauty Goddesses have to say to help someone find their way. What does Santa Claus want you to give him for Christmas and New Year's? Thank you so much for watching. If you selected the orange butterfly, this reading is for you. Hello, darling. If you selected the orange butterfly, then this reading is for you. I am going to go over each card and give you my collective intuition about what Santa Claus wants you to give him for Christmas and the New Year. So the first card, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai, and she says, be adventurous. Next, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Afar, who is responsible for our third eye. She says, be innovative. Turn your idea upside down. The next card we have for you is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Afar, and it says, find another way to solve the problem. And the last card I have for this read is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara's advice to you is, if the answer is yes or no, you have not asked the right questions. Now, my collective intuition about this hand of what Santa Claus wants from you is, you are involved in a project. It could be going back to school, starting a YouTube channel, making donuts, starting a business, but you keep asking yourself, should I do it or should I not do it? And Santa Claus is telling you that do it, but you need to think of a way to do it that is going to work for you. So an example that I can give you is, let's just say you are in school but you're not doing well. But you know you want your degree, but for some reason you keep failing your classes. Well, maybe if you're taking traditional classes, maybe you should think about going to an online school. If you're in an online school, take traditional classes. Another thing you could do is, as opposed to taking 3 classes, take 1 class. Does that make sense? So whatever you're doing, you're on the right track, but you just need to figure out how you need to make it work. So again, when you have Jungle Beauty Goddess of Fire, who represents the third eye, she says, find another way to solve the problem, right? Like, how else? Well, maybe you can start an online business as opposed to a brick and mortar business. Or maybe you can write a blog. Maybe you can, write a book as opposed to do, I don't know, a podcast. Or maybe you want to do a podcast as opposed to writing a book. The point of it is that the concept, the big picture, you're in the ballpark. But you need to be innovative and turn your idea upside down. Keep your idea, but think of another way to go about it. And lastly, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai. And she says, be adventurous. So Santa Claus wants you to stick to your dream. He wants, the gift that Santa Claus wants you to give him is to promise him that you are not going to give up. Promise him that you are going to go ahead and pursue your dream, but think of another way in order to make it successful. Like, don't get stuck into doing it. What you're doing right now is not working, but it doesn't mean that you are not doing the right thing. Does that make sense? So Santa Claus wants you to, as a gift to him, he wants you to hang in there. Thank you so much for watching. So if this message did not resonate with you, give you goosebumps, and make you feel some kind of way, then it just means that this message was not for you. This was just a fun reading in general. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. In this video, I am going to give you 10 legends about Saint Nicholas, aka Santa Claus, aka Santa Claus, aka Father Christmas, aka Chris Kringle, and Saint Nick. But anyway, the most important thing is Santa Claus was bad. He was a bad boy. He was a good bad boy. He was amazing. Santa Claus didn't take any stuff of anybody. Oh my God, I cannot wait to tell you. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get this started. Santa Claus was born in, they believe, around 280. His parents were wealthy Christians. They were Greek, and they lived in a port off the Mediterranean Sea. And Santa Claus, basically, they said that his parents died early or young in the plague. And they left him a lot of money, like a whole lot of money. And he shared his money with other people. Like, he would help the poor, people who had misfortunes. They said he was known for his kindness and his generosity. And he loved helping people. Now, this is all, nice and sweet, right? Oh, he gave his money away and he helped everybody. But did you know Santa? Okay. I get so excited sometimes it's hard for me to tell a story. So basically, Santa Claus was known for, let me tell you about some of the things he was known for. One, there was a man who lost his money. He had 3 daughters. And during this time period, if you have a daughter, you have to have a dowry. A dowry is something you pay to her potential husband's family in order to marry your daughter. Well, he didn't have any money, so they said his daughters would have been sold into prostitution. Saint Nicholas heard of this, and he decided to help this man out so that his daughters would not have to be sold into prostitution. So they said that they would hang stockings onto the fireplace so that they could dry, and that Saint Nicholas threw some gold coins in the window that landed in the, in the stockings. Well, he did it the first night for the first daughter, the second night for the second daughter. The third night, the father wanted to know who was giving him this money because he was using it to marry off his daughters. And he caught St. Nicholas throwing the gold coins into the stockings, and he thanked him, but St. Nicholas begged him not to tell anyone, but he was like a secret gift giver. They said that people would, like, if you would leave your shoes out, he would put money in your shoes. Like, he liked helping people, but he didn't want anybody to know that he was the person who was actually giving them the gifts. Isn't that amazing? Oh my God, that is so anyway, this, all of this things, all of his reputation preceded him as being this person who was a secret gift giver, who was helping everybody. And another thing that he was known for is, I don't know what the numbers are, I'm just going to tell you. Another thing he was known for is that there were 3 men who were about to be executed, who were innocent. And they said that when the executioner was about to use his sword to kill these men, Santa Claus went in and took the sword and, pushed it down and was like, no. And and then he chastised the juror who took a bribe for, to say that these guys were guilty when they were really innocent. And then another legend is that there were 3 children who were killed, and they were pickled and brined. And this butcher, they said it was during a famine, and this butcher, was starving and he needed money. So he took these 3 kids and he killed them, pickled them, and Santa Claus actually heard about it, and he talked to this butcher, found those 3 boys, and they said that he brought them back to life. Like, he used the sign of the cross and he brought these 3 boys back to life. So these are 3 legends. Now, what I find very interesting about these stories about St. Nicholas is that, there were 3 men being executed, 3 daughters who needed to be saved, 3 children that needed to be saved. And so, 333 is supposed to be the number of Christ. So I just find that numerology, and they're pretty interesting. Another interesting thing about, oh my God. Okay, let me get it together. Another interesting thing, and I would say what fascinates me so much about St. Nicholas is that, and let me see, I think it was 320 in 325. It was the Council of how do you pronounce it? Nicaea or Nicaea. This was the council where all of the Christian bishops were to get together to determine what Jesus' relationship would be to his Father. Isn't that interesting? No, really. Oh, Sandy, hold it together. They had a meeting. Listen, they had a meeting in 325. All of the bishops, the Christian bishops, got together to decide if Jesus was going to have equal power to God, if he was indeed the Son of God, how that would be presented and recorded for human history. And this was literally on the agenda. And another thing that was on the agenda was how to explain Easter and what Easter would be about and when Easter would be. Isn't that interesting? But wait, Santa Claus. Look, St. Nicholas, aka Santa Claus, was at this meeting. Do you understand what I'm saying? The meeting where they were going to decide if Jesus was the Son of God, did he have the same power as God? Was Jesus, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost? This was the meeting. But let me tell you about this meeting. Okay. There was a guy there who, he was like a bishop or a pastor as well. And his name was Arius. And he felt that Jesus should not have the same power as God. They should not be one. he felt that there was a time when Jesus didn't exist, and that God had begotten Jesus or created Jesus, and therefore God was more powerful than Jesus. And that was his particular view. Now, I'm not getting into what I agree with or disagree with. That's not the point of this. But long story short, Saint Nicholas felt that Jesus and God was one. But anyway, he got so upset at this meeting. Are you guys listening? Seriously, are you listening? Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, I'm sorry, at the time, he was so angry that the rumor is he slapped Aries at the meeting, and he was defrocked. Do you know what defrocked means? Oh my God, I had to look it up. They took his bishop hat, and they took his robe, and they sent him to prison. Did you know that? Did you know that Santa Claus went to jail? I bet you didn't even know that. But anywho, that was the second time. The first time Santa Claus went to jail, or St. Nicholas, basically it was, what's this man's name? It was during the persecution of Christians, the Declaration. Oh my God, I wrote it down. I don't have my reading. Wait. The Diocletian. Basically, they were persecuting Christians at the time, and Saint Nicholas was a devout Christian, and they put him in jail just for being Christian, and they beat and tortured him. Did you know that? Saint Nicholas was in jail for approximately 7 or 8 years, and then when Constantine ruled, under Constantine, he was released from prison. Did you guys know that? I mean, I'm sorry, maybe everybody else knew this information. I had no idea. So anyway, I find it very interesting that Santa Claus was in jail twice. Once because it wasn't his fault. He was a Christian, and they were persecuting all Christians. And the second time, it was at the Council of Nicaea, and to discuss Jesus' relationship to God. He became very angry at that meeting and slapped someone. Can you believe that? Okay, so I'm going to tell you some other things about Saint Nick, okay? They were able to find his grave. Now, his skeleton had been removed from the original place, and most of this skeleton was moved within small pieces of his skeleton were left behind, and Russia, Europe, the United States, and major churches all over the world have pieces of Saint Nicholas, aka Santa Claus, relics. So like some people may have like a finger or a tooth. But that's pretty common. But they say what's interesting about Saint Nicholas is that most of his skeleton is in one place, and what do you call it? The sarcophagus, it's like a stone coffin where the majority of his skeleton lay in this church. They say that it leaks a watery fluid that smells like rose water, and that it's like manna or myrrh, and then it has miraculous, like supernatural powers, like to heal and so forth. Don't you think that's interesting? I find this so amazing. Okay, I'm sorry. That's the nerd in me. So here, oh my God. And so they say every year they collect this watery fluid from Saint Nicholas, from his sarcophagus, and they put it in a vial. I think that's so interesting. Another thing is that researchers in Liverpool, they reconstructed Santa Claus's skeleton, and they found that Saint Nicholas had a broken nose, and they believe that it happened when he was being tortured and beaten in prison. And also they believe that he died around approximately at 73 years old. He was 5'6", and that So he was a slender person, slender to average build. He had a slender to average build, and that he suffered from chronic arthritis in his spine and pelvic. Yes, he's a real person. Did I cover all the things? The 3 daughters, that he saved 3 men, he saved the 3 children, he went to jail twice, he was at the very first meeting to determine what would Jesus' relationship be to his father. They took a vote, and as most of you know, they decided that Jesus and God are one, and that Jesus was the physical incarnation of God. And he was at that meeting. Look, Santa Claus is not a joke. So the story as to how he became like this person who was flying through the sky with reindeer, that is for a whole nother thing. I want to go ahead and get to the readings, because Santa Claus, before I do my readings, I like to just meditate for a minute and just kind of get quiet and see like what's like surfacing in the etheric, like in the rim, like, what's coming down. So I felt like Santa Claus wanted a gift from you. Like and it wasn't cookies. Like he's like, no, I want a gift. I do a lot of work. There's things that I want people to give me. So now we're going to go ahead with the readings. Thank you so much for watching. If you selected the teal butterfly, this reading is for you. Hello, darling. If you selected the teal blue butterfly, then this reading is for you. So first I'm going to go over the cards, and then I'm going to give you my intuition about what the cards are saying. So first we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai, who represents our second chakra, and she says, if you are waiting to deserve happiness, it will elude you forever. Next, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara, who represents the mind and our throat chakra, our ability to communicate. She says, what you know, believe, and how you think will have the greatest impact on your life. The next card we have, again, is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara. And she says, let me get this card in focus here. She says, how you think will determine your happiness. I've never seen a hand like this before in my life. Again, you have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara, and she says, if you think you know everything, you have nothing else to learn. First of all, this hand is dominated by Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara, who represents the throat chakra. She also represents our mind, our ability to be rational, to think clearly. And you have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai, who represents the second chakra, our sacral chakra, which has to do with our gut instincts and our feelings, of our ability to feel joy and enjoy life. And she says, if you are waiting to deserve happiness, it will elude you forever. Now, my instincts about this hand is that Santa Claus wants you to stop thinking negative. And Santa Claus wants you to change your self-talk, change the way you... Okay, so the best way I can think of this, and this is what's popping into my head, is that sometimes people identify themselves with their illnesses or with their problems. So like, how sometimes you'll meet a person who has gone through a divorce, and she talks a lot about, well, I was a battered wife, and this is what my husband did to me. Or you'll find somebody who, say, well, I have diabetes, and they, refer to themselves as a diabetic. They become their illness. They become their problem, and it becomes the highlight in essence of who they are and how they communicate with people. And so they are wondering like why they aren't happy or why their life is not different, but it's because of their self-talk, their dialogue, how they communicate with other people, how they see the world. So when you have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara, who represents our throat chakra, she also represents the mind and the ability to think rationally and how we communicate. So she says, if you think you know everything, you have nothing else to learn. Like sometimes when you talk to people, they feel like, oh no, I know everything there is to know about, being beat or whatever. They think that because they've gone through it, that they don't have anything else new to learn about what happened to them. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara is here to say that whatever you're going through, you don't know everything about it, and that there's always something new to learn about it. And just because you have it or you've experienced it, it doesn't make you like the only expert. Like open yourself up for new information. And then the other card we have from Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara is, she says, how you think will determine your happiness. So if you refer to yourself as a person who, I was abused as a child, or I was, in a bad relationship, or I never have any good luck, whatever you are saying constantly, whatever you're talking about constantly, whatever you are saying after, I am, you are bringing a lot of that energy into your life. Again, you have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara, who says, what you know, believe, and how you think will have the greatest impact on your life. So whatever you think about yourself, whatever you talk about most of the time, however you identify yourself, that is going to have the greatest impact. So if you're a person who thinks all men cheat, you're going to be that girl or that guy who's always going to meet somebody who's cheating, because how can you even, you're not even going to be able to resonate or attract something different, because you won't even recognize it, because you've clearly stated all men cheat. Or if you say, oh, I never get a good job, you are creating your reality with your words. And then the other thing, you have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai, who represents the sacral chakra, which is responsible for our ability to have pleasure, to enjoy life. She says, if you are waiting to deserve happiness, it will elude you forever. So Santa Claus wants you to stop your negative self-talk, to find another way of viewing your situation. And he wants you to stop waiting to be happy. Santa Claus wants you to promise him that in the new year, you are going to do something frivolous and fun just for you. And he also wants you to promise him that you would never say another negative thing about yourself, or refer to yourself as in terms of a negative situation. Like, don't say, sometimes people say, well, I am a domestic abuse survivor. Like, he's saying, like, don't refer to yourself that way. He wants you to refer to yourself as to what you want out of life, what you want to, like, I am happy, I am a writer, I'm a doll maker, I am whatever. But he wants you to change your self-talk into something that's self-affirming and something that's juicy and fun. That is what Santa wants from you. If this message did not resonate with you, give you goosebumps, to make you feel some kind of way, then perhaps this was not the message for you, but this was just a fun message anyway from Santa Claus. So this is what he wants from you. So, but anyway, if you enjoyed this, please don't forget to like and share this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you selected the purple butterfly, this reading is for you. Hello, darling. If you selected the purple butterfly, then this reading is for you. First, I'm going to go over the cards, and then I'm going to give you my collective intuition about this particular hand. So first, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess of Fire. And Jungle Beauty Goddess of Fire says, perfection is the enemy of ingenuity. Next, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai says, your actions today will determine your forever. Next, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai again. And her message to you is, you don't need a reason to have fun. And lastly, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari, who represents the heart chakra, and she says love is an action that speaks clearly, boldly, and unapologetically. Love is an action that speaks clearly, boldly, and unapologetically. Now, what this hand means to me, oh my goodness, I love this hand. First of all, I think that whoever this hand is for is that you are procrastinating about living your big dream. You're procrastinating about writing that book, making that video, starting that, I don't know, listen, baking those cookies, going back to school, cleaning your, I don't know what it is. But it says your action today, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai, and it says your action today will determine your forever. So how many times have you put off going back to school, looking for a new job, writing your book, making a video? Whatever you're putting off is affecting your forever. Like, you need to really get started. And the reason that you have not committed yourself to completing your dream or really going for that big dream is because, according to Jungle Beauty Goddess of Fire, perfection is the enemy of ingenuity. This means that you need everything to be perfect for you to get started. Like, well, I would start my business if I had enough money. I don't want to make a video because my lighting isn't good. I don't have the best camera. I don't want to write a book because it'll have too many, grammatical mistakes. And like, you are holding yourself up, darling. And not only are you holding yourself up from accomplishing your highest and biggest aspirations and goals and dreams, you're half living in general, because let me just say this. Not only are you not going for your big dream, you're also not enjoying your life. You're not going to the beach. You're not traveling. You're really just living a life of, it's not mediocrity as much as it is medium. You know what I mean? Like, you're not excited. You're not sad. You're not going for your big dreams. You're not planning for those trips you always wanted either. So you have Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai, who says you don't need a reason to have fun. Just like you don't need a reason to write your book or go for your dreams or do what it is you want to do. Like, you keep thinking, like, when I write my book, or when I finish school, then I'm going to go to Greece. And no. you need to write your book and go to Greece. But if, let's say you never write your book, you still need to go to Greece. Does that make sense? Like, you need to get on with life. Live your life passionately. And as a matter of fact, Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai dominated this hand. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Sinai represents the second chakra. And the second chakra is responsible for our ability to find pleasure, to enjoy our lives, to be spontaneous. It's our second chakra. So again, you need to live passionately, not just in terms of a job or a career or a dream, but just in terms of just being alive. You know, maybe not always eating the same foods, not going home in the same direction, not doing the same things over and over again. Like, you need to wake up. And also, when I say wake up, I mean just really jump into your body and look forward to the next day, because you're doing something you've never done before. And not just doing things you've never done before, but make sure that you wake up and do something that you really want to do. Like, write that first chapter of that book, you know, register or fill out an application to go back to school. Look for a new job. If you hate your job, get going. Like, don't even talk about it anymore. Just do something about it. And then you have Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari, has to do with the heart chakra. She says love is an action that speaks clearly, boldly, and unapologetically. She's saying love your life. You don't have to apologize to people for being who you are. You don't owe people that. You don't have to apologize to other people. Like, you know how sometimes people feel like, oh, well, I hate that I'm this way, or maybe your family wants you to be a doctor, but you don't even like medicine. You want to teach art. Teach art. You don't owe listen, I always tell people, you only get one life to screw up, and that's your own. So you have a right to love yourself and love your life. It says love is an action that speaks clearly, boldly, and unapologetically. Live boldly. Love your life. Stop worrying about being perfect. Perfection is the enemy of ingenuity. So what if your book is going to have grammatical mistakes? So what if nobody reads your book? If you're the only person who reads your book, so what? Right? You right. If you're the only person who watch your video, so at least you are living your life boldly and unapologetically. You don't need a reason to have fun, child. You don't need a reason to feel like you deserve a vacation or you deserve to get a new dress. And then the last thing is, your actions today will determine your forever. So you know what Santa Claus wants you to do, right? For him, for Christmas. Santa Claus wants you to promise him that you are going to live your life richly, and that you are going to make sure that you do the things that you really want to do with your life and not worry about making mistakes. He wants you to take action today. Promise Santa Claus that he wants you to give him the gift of you living your life completely and totally and passionately towards your dreams. That is what he wants. That's what he wants for Christmas. He wants you to be happy, and he wants you to be true to yourself, and he wants you to go after your dreams, and he wants you to not make another excuse. Your actions today will determine your forever. He doesn't want you to make another excuse about having fun. You don't need a reason to have fun. So I'm going to say, if you want to be on the nice list, and you want to give Santa a gift that's going to make him happy, you should do one thing. It's the minute you turn this video off, do one thing towards your real dream, and do one fun thing, even if it's like eating a chocolate bonbon. You know what I mean? Or even if it's like, okay, I'm just going to go to the local beach and just go for a walk. No matter what it is, I want you to make a list, child, of 10 things that you've always wanted to do for fun. And every day, this is for Santa. Do one of those things, and you can just start really small, and then I want you, whatever your real big dream is, I want you to take baby steps towards completing that dream. That is what Santa Claus wants from you. So if this video did not resonate with you, give you goosebumps, or make you feel some kind of way, then perhaps this was not the video for you. However, this was a collective reading. But if you were entertained, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you selected the red butterfly, this reading is for you. Hello, darling. If you selected the red butterfly, then this reading is for you. First, I'm going to go over the cards, and then I'm going to give you my collective intuition about this particular spread. We have Jungle Beauty Goddess of Fire, and Jungle Beauty Goddess of Fire says, be creative. Next, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess the Meeb, who represents the soul, our crown chakra. And Jungle Beauty Goddess the Meeb says, close your eyes to see the truth. Listen to the silence to hear the answer. Close your eyes to see the truth. Listen to silence to hear the answer. Next, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari, who represents our heart chakra and love. She says, love is the only thing worth fighting for. Love is the only thing worth fighting for. And then lastly, we have Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari again, who is dominating this particular spread. And she says, let me get her in focus here. She says, compassion and forgiveness are the cornerstones to true love. Now, my collective intuition about this hand is that Santa Claus wants you, whoever is watching this particular read, he wants you to fight for your love, fight for your relationship. Whatever is going on, there is... Okay, so you remember in the opening, I talked about how Santa Claus or Saint Nicholas slapped this guy at the meeting because he said Jesus was the physical reflection of God, and he believed this. And anyway, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with him, but he fought for what he loved. And they say next to Mary and Jesus, that Santa Claus is the third most popular person connected to Christmas. But I bet you nobody else at that, well, at least according to the legend, I don't think anybody else at the meeting fought like that. I don't know, it's just so interesting how he says love, this Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari says, love is the only thing worth fighting for. So I'm going to say, if you are in a loving relationship, if you love somebody and you're wondering if you should stay or not, look, first of all, Don't go to YouTube and listen to a tarot card reading and stay in a relationship where you really want to leave. You understand? This is for entertainment purposes, and maybe sometimes we're looking for a sign. Because I know all the time I'll say, God, just give me a sign. Just give me a sign. You know what I mean? This may be a sign. But if you are thinking like, I was just going to leave him, like, come on now. So, but basically, love is the only thing we're fighting for. So Santa Claus is telling you to fight for your relationship, child. And then we have compassion and forgiveness are the cornerstones to true love. You might need to forgive somebody. You understand? This hand is about love. Close your eyes to see the truth. Listen to silence to hear the answer. This card from Jungle Beauty Goddess Namib, who represents the crown chakra. She is telling you not to look at the external picture or maybe what other people are saying. So I'm just going to give a scenario. Let's just say somebody cheated. What I'm picking up from this hand is that maybe they cheated because maybe you weren't available. Maybe there's two sides to the story, and that your relationship is worth fighting for. Or maybe you guys are in a long distance relationship and you just haven't made time for each other. I can think of 1,000 scenarios, but this hand is saying you need to fight for your love. Fight for your love. You have two Jungle Beauty Goddess Kalahari who dominates this forehand spread. She's telling you love is the only thing worth fighting for. Every time, look, that always give me chills. Because I really do believe that love is the only thing worth fighting for. So, and then close your eyes to see the truth. Listen to silence to hear the answer. Don't listen to people saying, because people were quick to tell people, oh, you need to leave him. Girl, you need to leave. People are quick to tell you to leave your relationship. Or tell guys like, oh, you're going to stay with her? Don't listen to people. And don't think that there isn't another side to this story. And then you have Jungle Beauty Goddess Afar, who says, be creative. And I feel like in this particular scenario, she is saying to use your wisdom to be creative in how you're going to fix your relationship. You know? Are you guys going to go on a cruise together? Are you going to write a love letter? Are you going to... You need to be creative in how you are going to fight to heal this relationship. And do not listen to outside people telling you to leave your mate or that it's not going to work. So this is what Santa Claus wants for you. He wants you to give him... You understand? He wants you to give him a promise that you are going to fight for your love, fight for your relationship, and give it a true chance. Make sure you forgive. Look at both sides of the issue. Don't listen to other people, and be creative and think of a fun way on how you are going to heal your love. Now, if this message did not resonate with you, give you goosebumps, to make you feel some kind of way, then perhaps this was not the message for you. This is a general reading. However, if you found this entertaining in any way, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.